Hey guys, how's it going? Alex here with Big Money Theory. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. Today I would like to talk to you about the company that caught my attention. These guys are the biggest innovator and disruptor in the field of melanoma testing. But before we dive in, I would ask you to leave a like, drop a comment, consider subscribing to the channel. That will help to grow the channel and help me spread the knowledge with more people. So today's company we're going to be talking about is DermTech Inc., ticker DMTK. This guy has been performing absolutely wonderful the last few days. They went up 14% within a day and another 5% after hours. If you look at the 1 month chart, these guys are up 95%, and the past 6 months, they are up 645%. So what is DermTech? DermTech is the company that is changing the way the melanoma cancer is detected. Instead of the normal way you check for melanoma cancer is you book an appointment with your doctor, you go to your doctor's appointment, and the doctor looks at your mole, and if he thinks that the mole looks suspicious, then he would send you to the dermatologist. Sometimes it can take a few months before you be able to get to the dermatologist. As soon as you get to the dermatologist, then that doctor looks at the mole, and if that doctor thinks that the mole looks suspicious, they will cut it out. They will cut it out, they'll stitch you, send you back home. Then they grab the material they took from you, those tissues, and they send it to the lab. As soon as it gets to the lab, it's checked under the microscope, and they see if there is some things you need to be cautious about or not, and then they send the results back to the dermatologist. Dermatologist sends the results back to the doctor. The family doctor calls you or invites you to the appointment. Then you go to the appointment, and the doctor tells you you either have problems or you don't. So the DermTech doing a completely different thing. They are allowing you to apply stickers, those called are smart stickers, and you apply them to your mole you think is looking suspicious, and then you peel it off, put it in the envelope, send it to the lab through FedEx or UPS, so there's no waiting time, and then within 3 business days you get the results back to your doctor, and doctor tells you what's happening. So when you're doing a normal approach to the mole testing that can take a few months, with this smart sticker, it can only take a few days. Let me go through their website and show you a few key things, what you need to know about how this technology works and what is interesting about it. So the most important thing is their smart sticker. There was a reason why doctors had to cut your skin because there was simply no other way. Now there is a smarter way. And this company is the only company that does it at this particular moment. When you apply the sticker to your skin, it peels off just the tiny top layer of the cells of the mole. And that is enough for these guys, for their laboratory, to figure out if they have any problems or not. You don't need to cut out the mole itself. You don't need to go for that, surgical procedure. You don't need to put stitches on the skin. The most important things about that is this is not just a new test. This is new technology. And by using this new technology, you can get the results much, much faster. So there are 3 key things about this test, what the DermTech doing. So first of all is early detection. They detect changes in your skin at the RNA and DNA level, and this can happen long before the mole has a pathology, and it's a critical factor in treating the disease. The earlier you know, the better. It's way more accurate. So with the current biopsy care pathway, early melanoma can be missed up to 17% of the time. DermTech melanoma test misses less than 1%, so you can detect the disease more accurately and way earlier. And another important thing is you don't need to do any cutting. So those people who don't have any conditions that can lead to the melanoma, they don't understand, they don't know how annoying that could be. So the person who's more prone to have skin disease, they might have multiple visits to the doctors throughout the year where they have to cut out all the moles and send them to do the lab research. With this sticker, you can just do that at home. There is less visits to the doctor. You don't have to cut off anything, and it's just way more convenient. Another important thing about that is this test you can order anywhere in the United States. So even rural areas where there are no doctors, when you live on the acreage and whatnot, and when traveling far is not convenient to you, you can just order that. It comes into the mail, you put it in, peel it off, send it to the doctors through FedEx. So you actually don't have to go to the doctors. That's very important to the rural areas, because sometimes they might not have specialists who can actually check properly if you might have any problems or whatnot. So another focal point is catching melanoma is critical. If you catch melanoma on early stages, there are more than 99% survival rate. If that happens too late, when the melanoma spreads already, that survival rate drops to 25%. So this test helps you check sooner and get the results sooner. So the way it's pretty much happening is you get the sticker, you apply it to your mole, then peel it off the sticker, then they send it to the gene lab. At the gene lab, they can look at those markers up to 10,000 times closer than traditional biopsy care pathway. And another important thing they do is these guys actually have telehealth, so you can do all that at home. And staying at home doesn't mean waiting for answers anymore. You can order the DermTech melanoma test through telehealth visit, so you don't even have to go to the doctor. And now in the times we live right now, that's very important. So the less times you go to the doctor, you go to the hospital, the less contact you have with other people, and the safer it might be for you, especially for elderly people. So a few words about their magical sticker. So it looks just like a sticker, but this is where the simplicity ends. The proprietary adhesive is strong enough to pull 1.5 milligrams of tissue from the top layers of the skin, where its genomic information can be assessed. But it's not so strong that it can cause pain or bleeding or damage to the site. And the adhesive not only lifts the genomic material, but it stores and preserves it so it can be simply sent to DermTech Gene Lab for examination. And then the stickers are sent to the DermTech's lab, and that DermTech lab is the first and only commercial lab to extract nucleic acids, the other proteins, from non-invasive skin samples. So they're not just sending it to regular lab, they have specifically built equipment and specifically built laboratory to test those stickers. And that means they have a very specific equipment, which is great. They don't just use generic equipment. So here's a look at how the tech is advanced, the process in how easy it is. So you press the sticker on top of your mole, you press and rub the spot, you circle the spot so they know where exactly to look at the lab. Then they lift the sticker off in one direction. You put 4 stickers in the collection envelope, so you have to do that 4 times, and then send it to the lab, and then it's done. That's all you need to do. Then you just stay at home, and wait for the results, and you get those results pretty much within a week or so. So I'm always trying to find those companies who are disruptive in what they're doing. They're disruptive and revolutionary in the field. And I think this company is one of the companies that can be called an actual disruptor of technology. So these guys, they made a new way of detecting melanoma cancer. And just so you know, guys, there are more than 220,000 melanoma cases predicted for 2020, and more than 7,000 deaths were predicted for 2020. So the market is huge for this company. Now let's jump into some of the good news. So first of all, DermTech announced that they have a new scientific advisory board member, and that happened just in the beginning of February, just a few days ago. So that scientific advisory board provides important support and advice to DermTech, which advances its research and development of skin cancer, skin disease tests, and treatment. The experience of each member of SAB in dermatology, skin cancer, genomics, or biotech innovations distinguishes them as industry leaders and experts in their respective fields. That's very important. The board of directors they have is not just made of people who want to make money, but they actually have a scientific advisory board. So there are actual scientists there who navigate them through this field and give them advice how to do the things properly. There is also another study that came out January 14th. So the results of a large register study finding that the evaluation of genomic atypia using DermTech's pigmented lesion assay, the PLA, may be a superior approach to guide treatment decisions and manage pigmented lesions when compared to visual assessment of pigmented lesions. This study reports that lesions biopsied based on genomic atypia criteria identified by the PLA were associated with nearly 5-fold enrichment of melanoma in the patient specimens compared to those biopsied based solely on visual assessment criteria. So what that means in a few words is pretty much using this PLA, this technology of DermTech, is giving 5 times advantage of just visually looking at those moles at the doctor's office. Now, another good news that just came out a few days ago, that DermTech enters into agreement with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. This is huge for this company. Now, when they signed the contract with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, they have availability to use their PLA product with approximately 6 million members of the state of Texas. So they just increased their customers base significantly. And also it's good to mention that DermTech's PLA is the first non-invasive gene expression test for early detection of melanoma. Studies have shown that PLA has 99% negative predictive value, meaning that there is less than 1% probability of PLA missing a melanoma when administered properly. Just to give you an idea, when you do biopsy, there is more than 17% chance of missing melanoma. So those numbers are huge. So in my opinion, this company is a great company. They have a great future. They truly disrupt the field they're working in. This is the first company that can non-invasively check if you have melanoma, if you need to be worried or not. Now, another important things when I consider the company, how they're performing, of course, are their fundamentals, if I like the product or not. But I also look at how the shares are bought and sold. So another thing what I'm looking at when I do research at the company and consider recommending this company to you guys and consider buying shares myself is the insider trading volume. There are a lot of reasons why the insiders can sell their own shares. Somebody might want to buy a new house or a boat, or they want to go simple on vacation, or they just need extra money for something. But in most cases, insiders buy the shares, and in particular buy those shares in a large amount of money when they truly believe in what they're doing and they think the price of their share is going to go up and they're going to make more money. So if you look at this little chart here, we can see it for the past 3 months, 22,000 shares were sold, but 234,000 shares were bought for approximately $6.9 million. And we can also see for the past 9 to 12 months, 316,000 shares were bought by insiders. So that means people who work there, who are insiders, they believe in the company. They think the company is going to grow. Because if you don't feel the company is going to grow, you're not going to buy shares because you think they're going to lose the money, right? Everybody wants to make money. So insiders believe that they're going to make a lot of money. Another thing I'm looking at when I do research at the company is how much trade volume this company has. So if you look at the 6-month chart for DermTech, you can see that in September or November, the average volume was 70, 80, 100,000 K of shares per day. But now when we get closer to the January and February, we can see that jumped to 704 million, 600,000 shares. And when we get for the past few days, we can see 1 million volume, 1 million shares sold and bought, 1.3 million, 1.95, 1.8, 3.45, and 2.47. What that means to me is more and more people are interested in this particular stock. And another thing we can look at is at the chart, we can see that we mostly have buyings and we don't really have too much of the sells throughout the past couple months. So that means there are more and more people believe in this company. They simply do their research. They understand that this is a truly disruptive company and they're going to perform very well. So in my personal opinion, I think this company is going to do very well. I will definitely going to be looking into purchasing some shares of this company probably starting Monday. And I truly believe that they have a bright future. They can easily double within next month. And I think this guy is going to be performing very, very well next year. And this is it for me, guys. Thank you so much for your watching. I really appreciate your time. If you like what you heard, leave a like, drop a comment, consider subscribing to the channel. There's a link in the description to the Patreon, so if you feel like you want to support the channel directly, you can sign up. I really appreciate that. You'll have access to the Discord where I discuss the stocks with my subscribers, and I also post daily what I buy and sell and what options I do. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I have a great weekend.